You're now listening to the Crucible Strategic Podcast with Albert Polanco and Ryan Green, where we talk on leadership, strategy, and marketing, sharing how we and some of the most successful people we know take themselves and their businesses to that next level. This is not for the easily offended or the weak-minded, but for those who want to push themselves, elevate their minds, and move towards positive personal and business growth. Hey, what's up guys? It's Albert Polanco and I'm super excited about today's episode. You see, I'm going to share a recent interview I did with a very successful and inspiring individual that goes by the name of Marco Trevino. You see, Marco and his wife Nina, they're an amazing pair who've been able to build up in a very short period of time a part-time business generating nearly $500,000 in revenue. Marco's story is powerful in that he worked just as most everyone else does in a regular corporate career, striving long and hard hours to support his family. He goes on to share some deep and valuable insights with me that I know will be valuable to those who are listening to this podcast right now. Marco and his wife didn't have any startup funding or insane new business idea. They invested their time, energy, and effort into a home-based business in the network marketing industry. While there are many ignorant and uninformed opinions out there about this industry being compared to a Ponzi scheme or quote-unquote pyramid thing, upon more careful research matched with some intelligent critical thinking, you may be surprised to learn that in this industry, it's massive and in many ways will become one of the new standard methods of employment in the coming years for many reasons that we can go into deeper detail in another episode. But being paid based on your performance, along with the opportunity that a company now has to cut the majority of its overhead costs while increasing its profits, will be irresistible to companies in the new global economy. This is just the way things are moving, and expecting companies to not do what is in their best interest is not very logical to bet on, right? That being said, here's the interview I did with Marco, whose words and story left a lasting impression on me. His story is inspiring for anyone who's already currently involved in the network marketing industry, striving to succeed, and to anyone standing on the fence between the salary slave game and thinking about becoming an entrepreneur themselves. You see, network marketing is one of the simplest ways that an average person can become more than average and earn income on levels that would almost certainly be out of reach for anyone with a typical 9-to-5 career. And to be honest, some of my favorite people in the world are involved in the network marketing industry as friends and mentors. Even so, some of my favorite clients that I serve with my partner through our consulting firm, Crucible Strategic Advising, are network marketers. And you may soon see why after hearing Marco speak. So without further ado, here's my interview with Marco Trevino.
Oh, absolutely, no problem. I'm definitely honored and privileged to be able to answer any questions. And, maybe down the road this can help somebody in their journey in entrepreneurship. So absolutely, I'm pumped up, fired up.
That's awesome. So I'm going to start with a difficult question, right? What is the best lesson your father ever taught you?
Well, to be honest with you and be transparent, my biological father, the best lesson he ever taught me was really not being there, to be honest with you. I grew up with a stepfather who I call my father because he did raise me, but he didn't come into my life till later down the road when my mother met him. But my actual father was not around. I saw him maybe a handful of times in my childhood, and the best lesson he ever taught me was exactly what he did, was just simply not being around. That let me know that, in life, as I was growing older, even at such a young age, I was realizing that as I grow older, at some point, I will become an adult. And anything that I want to do requires you to be there. And it requires a responsibility. And that kind of resonated in my career, in my old career, in my corporate America career, and also what I do now where, as they call it, entrepreneurship. And the biggest lesson he taught me was to always be there for not only yourself, but for other people, and understand the responsibilities that you have.
Wow, that's a good lesson right there. You can always learn from people, good things from people, and then you can also learn what not to do. And that seems to be like a common recurring thing that, people can choose to, if they have something bad in their life prior, they can choose to learn what not to do. And I think that's something that I see in successful people is they learn from the good and the bad both, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what are some of your what is your most important values to you?
To me, in regards to, not only just on a personal level with my family, but also on a professional level, I feel that transparency and integrity is extremely key, because in anything that we do, it's as they say, how character is it's doing the right things when no one's looking. And I really feel if you just always are looking to doing the right thing, making the right decision, regardless if it benefits you or not, in the bigger picture and in the long run, you're establishing not only your legacy as a person, whether you're a father, a husband, a brother, a friend, or a business partner and wanting to be some sort of industry leader. I feel that integrity and transparency is very key to that. So, those are one of the biggest values that I really try to focus, who I am as a person. So those would be the two biggest things. Of course, there's a long list that I could add to it, but, integrity and transparency, are the two that pop in my mind right now.
Yeah, that seems to be lacking today in a lot of businesses and just in life in general in society. Right. So it's really awesome to have people that believe that, that they still stand for something, right?
Yes. Yes,
so
absolutely.
Your story is unique. Could you give me a little bit of your backstory on where you came from and how you came to get into network marketing?
Absolutely. Well, kind of they always say the cliche thing, long story short, I was born in a border town, in McAllen, Texas, in South Texas, right on the border of South Texas and Mexico, of course, and I lived in a city called San Juan, Texas. It's a small town, and I grew up there. I'm a third generation migrant, and what that means is, my family prior to me, my mother, my grandfather, my great relatives, we were migrants, and what that is at least 6 to 9 months out of the year, because being from a border town, there's not a lot of opportunity. There's not a lot going on. It's just very small, and the economy is very, very hard. Where I grew up in is the highest taxed county in the state of Texas, and it's also the poorest county in the state of Texas. So it's just one of those deals where it's extremely a rough life. And so what a lot of people do is from that part of the state, they go and find work. They follow the work, and they go up north. We always call it going north and to the states of Idaho and Ohio and Michigan, and basically working the field and produce, where you get those little stereotypes of, the Latino or Hispanic culture working the fields, and that's what we did. And what ended up happening was one year we're coming back down, and my brother actually was going to school here in the Dallas area. And he called and said he missed us, and we just came to visit for the weekend on the way down, and we never left. We stayed in Dallas, wanted to become a family unit, and what ended up happening at the age of 16, I had just turned 16. I went and got hired at an auto parts store. It was called Hilo Auto Parts at the time, and 2 months later, it was bought out by a company that no one heard of called O'Reilly Auto Parts, and now that company, I ended up spending 18 years with that company, and I worked very hard. So I only knew one thing, and that was working hard. I'm not a very talented person, but as we say, hard work beats talent any day of the week, and so I come from that background of working hard. And what happened was, 18 years flew by, and in that life happened. Of course, I got married, have children, have my wonderful business partner and wife, but right around my 14th year, I realized that we needed to do something different. So in being with this company for so long, I cashed in some stock shares. And I used that to go ahead and create a liquid asset of $50,000, and we opened up our business, a brick and mortar business, a traditional business. And it was a successful business from the standpoint of customers and staying busy. But at the end of the day, it didn't really pay me personally. So it was an expensive hobby. And what happened was 4 years went by, And, I went from doing 70 hours, 80 hours a week to 100, 115 hours a week. And I had a great discussion with my wife, and I said, listen, I know this is something that you really have a passion for, but I don't feel this is working. Even though I spent 14 years in the corporate world and working for that company, I realized that wasn't going to give me the things and the lifestyle that I wanted. So I thought, you know what, small business. So we tried the traditional brick and mortar business, and that still didn't work for me. And thank goodness for my wife that she always had an entrepreneurial mindset. I thought I was a businessman. I thought I had a businessman mindset, but not knowing that really is having that mindset of an entrepreneur. So my wife, because of some health issues, she was looking for something, a supplement. So of course this was shared with her. We saw the business opportunity and immediately locked arms. And in doing so, she did this for about 2.5, 3 months. I was unaware of how deep she was involved with the company, and this particular company, Pioneer Network Marketing, because she was just being coachable and was told by one of our business partners and mentors that, don't hang around negative people. And I was that negative influence in regards to an opportunity like this. But at the end of the day, I tried the product. It changed my life. It changed my family's life. I started looking at the business. It made sense. Even though, for me, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, well, everyone says our company is different, our compensation plan is different, but this made sense to me. And, locked arms and now going forward, all we've done is stick to a business model and, surrounded ourselves with people who had the same drive that we did, who wanted the best for us and vice versa. And that's how our network marketing, kind of career, if you want to call it, started. 6 months after I started network marketing, I was basically able to, I literally wrote up a letter and fired my boss, and I quit overnight. And I never intended to do that because I love my old job. I was there 18 years. I had a position of upper management. And, on a W-2, I made money, even though I was broke, but, on a W-2, I made good money. And, long story short, I realized that 80 hours of my week, and even though at the time, my network marketing, career it didn't match my income, I at least created an income that can take care of all my bills, in about 8 to 10 hours of a week. So I left that 80 hours a week, replaced it with those 8 to 10 hours, and then I realized, you know what, I want more. And in order to get more, you got to do more. So what happened is both of our businesses just basically continue to grow because of an amazing team, and we're able to we're going on 2 years now of not basically working in corporate America.
Wow, that's impressive. And that whole idea of working hard for your money is so ingrained in people. That they must basically slave for their lifestyle, and that's just how society has raised, the hardworking sector of society has raised people, and in reality, it's just not true anymore. There's so many opportunities out there now. So it's awesome to hear this kind of story and the background. For you, what are some of the major accomplishments that you're most proud of through all this?
Through the biggest thing that I'm very proud of doing is being able to help a lot of other people accomplish something that they never even thought that they could, and for those who felt that they can, but never felt they had the right vehicle, the biggest thing that I feel is being able to put people in a position to better their life and better themselves. That's the biggest thing that I love about this industry and this business, is you're able to believe again. You're able to have that hope. And that right there is the biggest thing, because I know for a fact I'm not the only one that would be stressed out as a man. Not just, I know there's women out there who accomplish a lot like my wife, but as a man and a family provider, not necessarily being that ideal husband and being that ideal father, but being that provider. But still laying your head at night and stressing over the bills, stressing over that termination notice for your utilities or your next car payment, and wondering, man, I'm working at the hardest I can work, and it's still not good enough. Where here in network marketing, you know, to be able to show people where you can just take a fraction of that hard work and start implementing with a team atmosphere and start working smarter, you can create an income that you can at least get that stress, that heavy burden on your shoulders, and you know, help your family and help yourself. So the biggest thing to me as an accomplishment is being able to guide people on duplicating that and just give them that hope and that breath of fresh air. That's really the biggest thing I feel that my accomplishment has been.
That's awesome, and you know that resonates with me, and I know a lot of men as a father myself, being that provider and falling short, you know, really takes a toll on you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you know, and you're doing your best, you know, just like you said, it's something that, you know, a lot of us weren't equipped to handle because of the way things change over time, you know, business and society in general, you know, so that's really impressive. When was it that you realized that you were going to be successful in this network marketing skill?
That moment when I realized I was going to be successful was really when I hit at the time, our company's third level of compensation. And what that was is it's an average income of about $1,500 a month, and you also qualify for a car program where they pay for your vehicle car note at up to $500. And to me, when I first started this, after I locked arms, I was like, okay, you know, I work 80 hours a week. I'll work this in between whatever time I had. And my time was at the end of the night, around 11 p.m. midnight, I'd sit or I'd lay in my bed for an hour and watch YouTube videos on this company from previous leaders. And what ended up happening is I became a student of this industry. And when I was able to hit this position in a 30-day period, and I did it in not only a short amount of time, but I also did it within the time that it allowed me to work it. And I said, you know what? Wow, I've been able to create this income with really my business partners doing most of the heavy lifting. And that's what's key about network marketing. A true great network marketing company is really just that. They're networking together, not only for the business, you know, but also for you as the owner of or the person who has distribution rights. Without their help, I couldn't have accomplished this. So when I hit that position, I realized, wow, I've done this in just a few hours over the week, and I realized this is real. This really is real. All my previous thoughts and everything I thought about this industry were being washed away. And then I told myself, you know what? If I put more in, I'm going to get more out. So then I just started working the business harder, and you know, then of course more income, better compensation, higher ranks, not only for myself, but focusing on helping my business partner automatically by default helps me. And that's when I realized I'm going to be successful in this.
Oh, that's inspiring. What do you believe are the main factors in you becoming successful? And I think I've heard a few of what you believe, but what specifically would you attribute the main factors to that?
Really, I would say my life experience. You know, life experience is crucial in business, and what I mean by that is, in the way I grew up, and seeing my grandfather. You know, before you know, now you can walk into grocery stores and big box stores and see an organic aisle, you know, see an organic produce section. But I remember helping my grandfather. We spent 3-4 hours in the morning picking watermelons and purchasing them and loading up this Chevy half-ton pickup, loading up the whole back of it, putting the tailgate down, and me putting a cardboard sign saying watermelons for sale. And we park on the side of the road underneath a tree, and I would wave people in. I'd cut them in half so they could see the watermelon. And before it was called organic or healthy eating, you know, I remember my grandfather sitting on the tailgate and him telling me about the produce, him telling me about customer service, him telling me on reading the potential customer, and you know, if they pulled over, the goal now isn't that they're going to buy one. The goal now is that we need to sell them two. So from an early start, having a life experience with my grandfather, showing me and teaching me that was key. And then as I grew up older, going from a small border town here to Dallas Fort Worth, it was a culture shock. And seeing the difference from city life and small town life, and really going from just Mexican American small town life to every race and culture that you can think of in Dallas, and feeling left out, and then being picked on and being beat up, and to the point where, getting into, you're wanting to fit in, so you're wanting to have friends, and you end up surrounding yourself with, the negative influences and negative people, but you don't know that because they make you feel so positive, and, getting into that gang lifestyle. That life experience taught me, that I remember getting in trouble. I've been expelled twice. I have a 9th grade education. It was all because of the people that I surrounded myself with. And it was that moment when I decided to separate myself from those people that my circumstances changed. So that life experience taught me, early on, that it is truly about who you hang around with. And then as I became an adult, and become a man or an adult and started working, I realized, I don't have a diploma. At the time, I didn't have any experience in auto parts. I didn't know what was what. I didn't have a mechanical background, but all I knew was hard work. And I knew that nobody was going to outwork me, and I was willing to be coachable. Now we say that in network marketing and even in entrepreneurship, the word coachable, but I understood as an adult, as a young adult, that in order for me to learn something, I started listening to the people who already know what they're doing. And, so I started listening to those assistant managers and district managers, because it's all about levels in life. And my life experience as I grew with this company, my old company in corporate America, it was all levels. So I wanted to become a key holder. I listened to the person and did what he did. Then the next step was assistant manager. So then I listened to that assistant manager, and I basically emulated and copied that, and so forth, as I went into management and then upper management, and my life experience has been key factors in success in this. So as you take that and mold it into what is now network marketing, and what we do, it's the same scenario. I'm listening to the right people. I'm hanging around the right people, and I'm doing what the right people are doing, and that's what gets me to have the things that I want that those people have, and then you throw in hard work, unbeatable, great formula,
Yeah, that's very, very true. They say, obviously the quote is success leaves clues, right? So
Absolutely.
you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. That's awesome. Very awesome. So, do you have a daily routine in your personal life and business that you do every day?
When we first started, absolutely, because what happened was, as the business grew, you have to somewhat adapt. You stick to the basics, but I was used to waking up at 4:30, no later than 5 a.m., and coming home around 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and to the point where I was programmed for those 18 years, literally after I left my job, and the people in my inner circle know this, I literally quit my job, and the very next day, I go and I put my key in my old store, and it hit me, oh my gosh, I don't work here no more. And then the second day after I quit my job, I was backing into my parking space, and it's dark, and it's like 5 a.m., so when you hit your brake light, the redness of your brake light illuminates the wall and the tree where my parking space was, and then it hit me, oh my gosh, I'm back at work, what is wrong with me? And then the third day, believe it or not, I was in a rush. I was in the corner of my bed, leaning over, tying my work boots, when it hit me, what am I doing? And I leaned over, and I looked at my wife sleeping for the first time. And I know that sounds weird. Of course I see my wife sleep, but you've got to understand, like I tell people, for 18 years, I just woke up, got ready, and left. I never looked at my wife, sleeping. And as I leaned back on the bed, I got a little emotional. And I realized that in these 18 years that I literally was programmed, like a robot, to wake up, get up, and show up, and start producing. And that left an impact on me where now my routine when I first started, I woke up, and worked this business. And that's one of the reasons our business grew at a substantial point because we were treating it like a job, and that was key. And also with the life experience, what happens is, we started, getting involved in something we've never done before. And now that this past year has fully come full circle, we've realized that maybe we kind of went away from the basics, which is, like Mr. Bradford says, one of our mentors and business partners, if you treat your business like a job, you're going to have success. So my daily routine is treating it like a job, literally waking up and doing some sort of kind of clocking in procedure and working your business every day. You don't have to work it 10, 12 hours a day. If you do, well, then you're going to have even crazier, more amazing results. But if you treat it and seriously, like a job, a traditional job, you're going to have the success, because you're taking it seriously. So the day-to-day routine is simply waking up, treating it like a job, working your business, and just consistently just getting the information out to people. And, so my daily routine is just that, waking up, treating it like a job, working the business like a job every single day, 7 days a week.
Wow. Yes, consistency. It's interesting that you said that about just getting up automatically. A lot of what I have discovered personally and that I was learning about in my first book was having to do with habits, and how our brains work. I did a lot of research into habits and how our brains use them as automatic behaviors, and how, you're really not even consciously doing something. It's literally ingrained in you as a habit, and it's automatic behavior. And your brain does that to save and conserve energy. So when you're trying to change, you're going against what your brain wants to do. That's why a lot of people find it so hard. That's very interesting. I've never heard that put that way, but very cool. So what is your biggest motivator that's driving you to succeed right now, that you would say?
My biggest motivator now, and it's changed, and this is as of recently, my biggest motivator now is just getting this amazing information of this industry, not just my company. I'm a little partial because I can say my company is the best company in the world, but anybody whatever company they're in, they're going to say that. I need people to understand what this industry can do for you. I want to be a part of a group of people that change, because I've traveled the world. We went to the Asian markets. We went to the Philippines. We know people in Japan. And, in the other side of the world, network marketing is looked upon with respect, and it's looked upon with, wow, you're a network marketer. Here in America, we've been saturated and brainwashed, I believe, that you have to be a part of a systematic system that you're going to be where you're at. And so my biggest thing right now is I need to get information out to people on network marketing and what this industry can do for you on a part-time basis and with realistic numbers, but to change it where in the next 18 to 2 years, 18 months, 24 months, where people will start seeing, well, you know what? Network marketing is where it's at. And I want to give people the head start because I honestly believe in the next 5 years, people will not have a choice. And when I tell people that, they're like, well, what do you mean not have a choice? How are you going to tell me in 5 years I'm going to have to be a network marketer? I'm going to go in 5 years, the shift has, the shift has been made where you have to get yourself involved in network marketing because in 10, 15 years, you will have to be a network marketer because of the way business is going. If you look at Walmart, they've got checkout lanes. I just went to a McDonald's. There was no counter person. I ordered on the counter with a touchscreen. I've been to a Chase Bank where they literally closed off the bank counter. No more bank tellers. It's now multiple ATMs. And, with what I love about it too is like even Amazon. Amazon has changed the way, basically you're looking at business and it's all online. But now Amazon in certain cities have an Amazon store, and because of smartphones or just technology, your normal grocery store or big box store normally has about 120 employees, where an Amazon store has 5. You know, why? Because literally you walk in, your phone is already synced, you grab whatever items you want, it's being added to your cart, and you literally just walk out with those items and you get billed on your Amazon account. You know, and even now with network marketing, you know, companies are they're downsizing their workforce. They're putting money into technology and the manufacturing of a product and downsizing on the workforce because they're going to use the model of network marketing where, you know what, instead of me spending $100 million in marketing and commercials and events, why don't I spend, you know, $50 million in paying individuals who will market this way more better than a commercial ever can? You know, that company's going to save tens of millions of dollars, and then that individual distributor is getting paid for their efforts. And, you know, it's a win-win for everybody. So I really feel that I just need to get this information about network marketing to as many people as possible.
Absolutely. And I'm super interested in what you were just talking about because I follow that stuff, right? I follow forward trends. And actually one of the ones that you didn't mention that ties directly into what you're saying is two things. The global workforce, right? We're no longer a island nation anymore, right? We're competing, our workers and our people are competing with, in some cases, many cases, more talented and educated people. You know, you're competing with them. It's no longer a choice anymore. But the real big aspect that people are totally, I see no one paying attention to, except for the Richard Bransons and Mark Cubans of the world, is artificial intelligence. Right? Mm-hmm. Nobody's paying attention to how artificial intelligence is being implemented now and where it's being used at. But the projections are within the next decade that 47% of jobs will be obsolete. And not just, you know, worker jobs like you said where somebody's check out at a counter. You know, we're talking about anything to do with numbers and money, CPAs, accountants, tax attorneys, all these things are going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. They run circles around human beings. Even jobs like what I used to do, which was in marketing, nothing is safe anymore. Even creative and marketing and creative aspects. So people who think that their jobs are safe, they're not. And you know, everything like you just said, everything is going to move to a performance-based pay system, right? It just makes more sense, and it removes the fact of employees going to work to get a paycheck and not actually delivering. You know, companies are going to move into that, and you're absolutely right. But artificial intelligence is one of those big things that I think is going to really push people to start looking at things like network marketing or affiliate marketing and internet marketing, all different types of business models other than the traditional workforce. So that's very, very interesting. I did follow the Amazon store. I think that's fascinating. They're changing the world. They really are.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you kind of touched on it in the last question, but what are some aspirations you have moving forward? You know, are there any targets, goals that you're looking to hit?
Well, a couple of things, like you said, I did mention it in the last question in regards to the industry. I want to bring light to a cloudy industry, and I want to be an advocate of this industry. And I'm nowhere near where some of these industry amazing mentors and leaders like an Eric Worre, you know, and things like that. And but you know, you got to start somewhere. And I love it that, you know, like I tell people, you know, that I just want to get this info out to people. And the second thing in regards to me personally in our business is, you know, goals is just getting as many people as possible who lock arms with us and put their belief system along with ours. We want to make sure that they are in a position to truly maximize their fullest potential in this industry with this company and with this partnership. And we want to get them the best experience that they can possibly have, so they can just experience more with their families or maybe pursue a dream or a passion, you know. And I just had a conversation with a gentleman the other day where, you know, he was just looking for an extra means of income, and I showed him what this industry can do. And he wasn't high on the industry, but once I showed him this business model, and I told him, look, you can create an income with this business model. It's such a low risk. where you can now start saving and funding your passion for down the road. I'm not telling you that you're going to be what I want, that you want to be this network marketing industry type person, but you know what? Use this to create that income to fund that passion or that talent that you have been blessed with. So that's what we want to do. We want to get people in a position to just simply win. Bottom line, that's our goal.
Wow, that's inspiring, and that's a recurring thing that I hear from leaders is they have a real drive to help others and serve others, and it's kind of not intuitive when you think about it how we're raised. It's like they say it's a dog eat dog world right there out there, right? But when you care and you look after others and you invest in others and you serve others, the things that you want come to you in an abundance,
No, I just wanted to touch on that. The what you put out into the world is what you're going to get, and everyone knows that, and it was brought to light. I remember many years ago when I saw that DVD, The Secret. I never read the book, but I read it later, but then I watched the video first with my sister-in-law. She came from Houston and literally drove here, and the moment she walked in, she's like, put this DVD on, you've got to see this. And that kind of opened up my process right before we even, prior to opening up our business. That's when I started realizing, what am I putting out into this world? Am I really waking up and going, you know what, today's going to be a great day, even though it's thunderstorms and it's raining like crazy. Am I putting out the things that I want? Because up to that point, what I was putting out into the world was just hard work. I am a hard worker. So that's what I was getting. I was getting a hard worker's pay, and now, and just that didn't really impact me, that book and really that DVD didn't impact me like crazy, but it planted a seed, and in regards to putting out into the world on what you want to receive, and in reality, that's even biblical in a way, and in everything that you do, so, as you said that, I just wanted to kind of chime in really quick, because it's absolutely, I feel it's true.
Yeah, very, very true. I actually love that. I saw it on Netflix a while back, and I love that whole concept. Personally, I feel like they're missing an aspect, and the aspect is action. The thinking and the positivity and the law of attraction, I do fully believe in. But I think that you have to also match that with action. You have to put action behind it, because it's just not going to come to you because you think it to be true. You have to do something, But I love that whole, it changed a lot of people's lives. It really did. With that, they say every master was once a disaster, right? So let's talk about failure, because, for me personally, I believe that failure, is the mother of success. What would be one big failure that you encountered before network marketing that set you back in your life?
I guess really the biggest failure, or really I'll just say a lot of things that I failed at, because I'm a big proponent of I don't believe in failure unless you just simply, the only way you get failure is if you literally quit the step or the process of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. But we fail every day, and as they say, failing every day is your steps towards success, and that's 100% true. So prior to my network marketing career, not knowing what this industry was, what I feel I failed at was really just honestly the personal development of myself in regards to having the mindset of a true leader. So I spent so many years in management, and I learned a lot. But 18 years in being a vital key to an organization that went from 18 years ago, this company was a $200 million company. 18 years later, they're $10 billion. And me, along with certain key people, were a part of that. And that whole time, I never knew names like a Les Brown. I never knew names like a Gary Vee, like a Jim Rohn. Even something as amazing, even like a Mr. Eric Thomas. Just basically the mindset. So my failing was not having put myself in a position of personal development. And it's not that it's one of those things that what you just don't know, you don't know. I knew. I knew I had to do better personal development because you got it in one form or fashion from people who are successful, and I started going, man, well, what are they doing? You can clearly see them at another level, or even going to church, you know, and understanding and getting that feeling, going, you know what, I need to read this book a lot more to understand better, you know, but it's like you said, action. You can want it, you can think it, but if you don't do it, you don't get it. You know, and so really I think where I failed multiple times was the action of doing what I knew I needed to do. And if I would have done that, I think I would have had, you know, even more success in my old job in regards to even my team members that were with me at the time.
Wow. So what would be some challenges or failures, I know you don't like that word, a lot of people don't like that word, that you encountered in your network marketing business?
The challenges that I encountered at first was really the hype. You know, I wasn't a person. What I saw was looking at all these, you know, what I saw was a lot of people being called a leader because of a rank or a position they were in a company, you know, and to me, that doesn't make you a leader, you know, and then the hype that went with it. You know, going back to the beginning of this interview about having integrity and being transparent, and I'm not saying that at the time when I first saw this, the people presenting this opportunity they weren't transparent or didn't have integrity, but I just felt that there was a lack of realness or a lack of just that, more transparency in what this industry is. And, you know, the hype that goes with it, that wasn't my cup of tea. You know, so my challenge was to become that person who was that hype person. And I'm not saying that I am now like, oh, come on guys, let's do this. No, I don't do that even to this day. You know, I could definitely smile a lot more. I can clap a lot louder. You know, I can cheer a lot longer. You know, but what it is that I do is I make sure that people understand that I am excited because of what this opportunity entails. So my challenges in the very beginning was to understand that if I want my business partners or even anybody else to be excited, that I have to be that excited person too, you know, and so that was my one of the early challenges that I saw. And then some of my biggest challenges was, and this is what I'm kind of famous for within our team, on a phrase that I coined over and over and over again, was when I first saw this, I immediately started network marketing. I immediately started thinking of people that I cared for, my best friends, my certain family members, people that I held in high respect, and even people that I knew that were in a position in their life where if they did this, I knew they would have success and how it was going to change their life. And when I realized the moment I locked arms in this industry, I literally have even to this day, I think I've had 2 family members support my business. I've had 0 friends support my business. And I learned really, really quickly that people support your struggle, but they don't support your success. And that's what I tell everyone that I go as I travel and as I train, and because it's true. You know, I realized that when I was broke, I had 3 best friends at the time, that 20-year plus best friends. They've been with me through thick and thin. Whatever I needed, they were there, and vice versa. But just because I joined network marketing, I'm no longer that same person. I'm this crazy person. I'm this, you know, and I just told them I'm just trying to earn extra money. I'm tired of being broke. I believe in this product, you know, and they're telling me I'm dumb, I'm stupid, this is a pyramid, this industry is fake, you're crazy. And I realized those people that told me all those negative things were the same people who would pat me on my back and go, man, Marco, you know, because I work 80 to 100 hours a week. Those are the same people that would pat my back where I would miss one of my son's birthdays. They were the same people who pat my back that I didn't even know what instrument my son was playing in orchestra. Those are the same people that patted my back that I just simply wasn't there. I didn't want to become that dad who was always bringing gifts, you know, bringing a present but never being present, you know. And those same people patted my back and said, man, Marco, you're a hard worker. And that's when I went, man, y'all are crazy. You've been supporting my struggle, but now you don't want to support my success. And that's where everything kind of does a 180, really even a 360 when you think about it, because it just comes in full circle, and people are stuck in that society mindset that, if we struggle together, we're going to be fine. And when someone breaks off from that, they change and they're no longer the same, or they're crazy, they're stupid. But you know what? The people who have always gone against the grain have always had, at the end, a much smoother journey, So, that was really the other biggest challenge that I had in people supporting my struggle and not my success, and trying to get over that. And, because it was everybody that I loved, everybody that I cared for, who was doing that. And, so that was my biggest, challenge. And after that, I just woke up every day and worked my business and just one foot over the next.
Man, that's profound. I love how you worded that. That's deep. And that's very, very true. People don't support your success. It's often intimidating, and it forces them to look at themselves and what they're doing in their life. It's something that we're not ready for, but to reach the next level, you have to leave some people behind. And that's just the way it is. You can't soar with eagles if you're flocking with chickens. It's just, that saying is true. Even if they're your family, people you love, you got to leave some people behind. So that being said, what kind of challenges do you face today? You have had success. You and your wife have had success. What kind of challenges do you face currently?
Currently, I feel that our challenges are two things. People feel that, okay, well, maybe the Trevinos have had this great success and they don't need my support. So the biggest challenge in our personal business is talking to people and making them aware that, you know what, we're barely getting started. We're not close to our goal yet. So don't let the perception of whatever it is that you think the type of success we've had, we're not done. We need more, but you know what? I need your support. So on our personal level, just letting people know that we still need support. And the second thing is being able to truly just going back to our team, to have those people make sure that they have that breakthrough, those people that have done everything right. They showed up to every event. They have supported us every step of the way, but maybe for some apparent reason they didn't get that success. And what I mean by success is not financial, it's not monetary, it's not an income. Success to me is really being able to accomplish what you said that you wanted, whether it's more time, a healthier lifestyle, whatever the case may be. To me, it's not the income. I definitely love the freedom that you get of time freedom in this industry. And, the biggest challenges that we have, in my opinion, I don't want to speak for my wife, but is just trying to stay in what we call phase one and having people understand that we still need your support and, just let us share this information with you. And so we can just continue to grow not only for ourselves, but for our team. And, so I think that's just the biggest challenge that I see.
When you think of the word successful, really quickly, who's the first person that comes to your mind?
My grandfather.
Grandfather.
Yeah, and then a person by the name of Dan Dow. And then I would think, my wife in the other room, she said me. So I'll throw in my wife, and,
okay.
my first thought is my grandfather, for many reasons. So my grandfather. That was my first, mentor and father figure and everything.
Well, what books are you currently reading? And then also give me 2 or 3 of your favorites that impacted your life and your business the most.
The current book that I'm reading right now is, actually, where is it? Eat Last. I think my wife has it on the dining table. Yeah, and, yep. And then Monday Morning Leadership. I've been getting some quotes and some excerpts out of that book, which have been amazing. And then a couple of books that I've read, and even prior to Tayani and during Tayani, one of the books that's left an impact on me in regards to management has been a biography on Colin Powell, the General Colin Powell, and also George Chief of Staff. It's a really things that really helped me identify how to be a true leader, not just a person that's at some office or in some rank and just saying kind of like, I'm the leader, I'm the position, you need to do what I say, but to always keep your ear out in the field, always keep your ear out with the troops that are out on the field. And in regards to network marketing, same thing. My brand newest business partner, if they see something or make a comment that maybe they just don't quite understand, I need to continuously stay in the mindset of people who are brand new, and also even from a consumer standpoint, if they feel our pricing is off, if they feel that maybe the certain verbiage on pamphlets or whatever the case may be, I feel it's my job to relay that to leadership and even to corporate staff, and just continuously push people for change. What I love about that book too is, to embrace change. What a lot of leaders and even not just leaders, but people throughout history, conquerors and people who, dictators and all that, what their ultimate demise was their lack of accepting change. They stuck and held on to, it must be this way and only this way. And change is a ball of momentum that you cannot stop. And since they never embraced change, that was their ultimate demise. Another book, really an audio, I know it's a book, but I'm a big YouTube or an audio guy, so I really listen to a lot of things a lot more. I rarely do read, to be honest with you, but I listen to audiobooks. And the very first CD that was given to me, audiobook, was Jim Rohn and How to Build Your Network Marketing Career. And that really is an amazing audiobook, because it really, in his simplicity, Jim Rohn, and the master that he is, he's able to break this industry down in such a simple way that by the time you're done reading and or listening, you're like, you know what, this is an amazing industry, and I can do this, so that's definitely a audio book that when it was given to me, I listened to it in my car. I was actually on a road trip. 45 minutes later, I felt that I was meant for this industry, and I was like, I can do this. And it's just been an amazing audiobook for that. So those have just been a few books.
They're all very good choices. And actually, Jim Rohn is actually one of my absolute all-time favorite speakers and just mentors. People like Tony Robbins come from Jim Rohn. There's other huge personal development gurus that all were mentored by Jim Rohn. His Foundations for Success program I believe, should be mandatory for anybody who wants to have a good life. Like, it's so powerful, like his philosophy and how, like you said, simply he puts things. I love Jim Rohn. Like I said, he's one of my favorites.
On a day-to-day basis, I kind of create a circle of people who, I guess by definition, I am mentoring, and I try to keep that small, so you don't get spread out too much. So I mentor on a day-to-day basis about 6 individuals within my organization, and then I have 2 people that I'm mentoring just basically in just life, and just basically being a friend, and I'll rephrase that to really being a mentor friend. And I have a gentleman who actually, we had a plumbing issue at my home, and young man, 21 years old, did a great job, has a great work ethic, and long story short, I can tell he has a love for his mother and a love for his pride in what he does, but he wants more in life, and I'm not, throwing network marketing at him, but I knew he just needs some guidance, and I just felt, even though I had great mentors early on in my life, I wasn't guided in the term of, it doesn't always have to just be hard work. You have got to think bigger, so we talk about 3 times a week, and he actually missed an appointment this past Sunday. He was supposed to come over to my house, but he didn't. But I mentor 2 people also where I'm just keeping relationships, because for some reason I have this feeling that they have something I know they bring something to the table that the world has to see and hear, and I also love Like one of my business partners, he's not only in my organization and he's a great leader and also a blue diamond within our company, Mr. Lloyd Williams, that, with this gentleman, he's already at a level where I'm learning from him too because of his experience, going back to, I have a ninth grade education. Well, this gentleman he's writing his dissertation for his doctorate. So I love to be a mentor to somebody who brings something to the table that I don't have. So the only way I can continue to mentor people or even bring value to others is having other people's value given to me, and so on a day-to-day basis, I'll say 5 to 6 people, and then I rely on them to do that, to do the same thing with their people, So it's a butterfly effect, and that's only because the mentors that we've had, our business partners, and one of my biggest mentors, even from afar, I don't work with him on a daily basis, but Mr. David Nieves is someone who has truly inspired me I have nothing but the utmost respect for this gentleman and because I've seen where he was at, his journey, and I see where he's going to, and man, I'm just so happy to be along the ride with him and just getting mentored from afar. So, I love that.
He definitely is a powerful individual. I definitely have been following him and how he shares his value with everybody. So how can people reach out and learn more about you and your story? Do you have a website, or how can people get a hold of you?
I'm just a social media guy. They can hit me up on Facebook, Marco Trevino. I'm also on Snapchat and King, what is it, Trevino, and no, it's actually King 3, the number 3, Vino, King Trevino, and but it's not just a simple phone call. I'm still old-fashioned guy. I spent 18 years on the phone and talking belly to belly with people. So they can simply just, even on my Facebook, my phone number, my Facebook is public. It's completely open. And my phone number is on my Facebook. So really the quickest way is that. They can just give me a ring and we can share ideas and just go forward. So that's really the quickest way is on social media, on really Facebook.
Okay, awesome. So we're down to the last few questions here. I want to get a little bit creative here, right? If you could implant one thought into someone's brain, like the Matrix style, if you've seen that movie, to someone who's brand new to network marketing, what thought would you give them into their brain?
It's funny you say that. I actually have a training that I literally use scenes from the Matrix, including the red and the blue pill,
Okay.
and have it on my YouTube channel. But I've never actually thought about one thought. If I could put one thought into somebody brand new into network marketing, is my wife yelling from the kitchen, I can do this. So that would be her one thought. And my thought would be, it's absolutely worth it, and because what you're about to, embark on in the journey that is network marketing, you're going to have these trials and tribulations, these challenges, these obstacles, when it's a simple thought process of going, you know what, this is going to be so worth it, so absolutely worth it, that obstacle is now an opportunity, and it's that's what I would implant in somebody. It's absolutely worth it.
Okay, that's awesome. If you could talk to your younger self before your success, what advice would you give yourself?
I would, and again, success is a tricky word, but I would, if I could just speak to my younger self, I would simply say something as simple as, think bigger. Just think bigger. I've always been a person that has been hard work, and whatever I wanted, I've gotten. Everything I've ever wanted, I've gotten through such hard work. But I never thought bigger. I never thought, and this is where my wife is crucial to not only me personally, but as a business partner, she's always thought bigger. She's never thought what was right in front of her. She was able to see what was past her, and past that situation, and that goes back to hanging around the right people and think bigger. I would go back in time and tell myself just simply think bigger, and that right there, if I would to even think bigger, we would be in a whole level and personally, and also in our business.
Wow. Okay. So I'd like to end this interview with what your personal motto is, if you have one.
My personal motto in really just life is, without saying cliche things that we've always shared in this industry and things like that, but, if I had to put it into a motto, is just, I kind of joke around and tell people, I'm the most intelligent, uneducated man you'll ever meet, and the reason for that is because of life experience, and I'm able to bring to the table something with life experience that maybe so many people don't actually experience life. They go through life living, but they don't experience life. And I'm not saying my life was all rainbows and butterflies, but that's what I bring to the table. And the other part of that too is, at the end of the day, if you just simply work hard, you'll get the result that you want. And that's the longer way to it. So this industry does crazy things where you can accomplish things a lot quicker. But at the end of the day, when, as they say, when talent doesn't show up, clock in hard work and it'll make it happen. And hard work beats talent any day of the week.
Wow. Okay. So I want to thank you, Marco, for your generosity in giving me your time, which is our most valuable asset. I truly appreciate you doing this interview with me. Is there anything else that you would like to share with everyone? Anything else left that you'd like to share?
As far as just sharing, just don't let those people who, don't get so caught up on those people that are holding you back from what you were destined to get, even from a biblical standpoint. Everything, all our hopes, aspirations, dreams, wants, and needs have already been laid out for us. It is already there for us to simply just go get, and when I tell people that, they're like, man, Marco, it's a lot easier said than done. And I said, absolutely. It's a lot easier said than done. No one ever said this was going to be easy, but like I said, it's absolutely worth it. If it was so easy as they say, everybody would be doing it. That's what separates the winners from the whiners. That's what separates the people who truly live their life or just living in life. So go out, get it. It's laid out. There's going to be obstacles. And you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. Life is just that. It's going to hit you, and it's going to hit you really hard. But you're not going to get knocked out. You're only getting knocked down. And, just go and get it. Everything you've ever wanted is already laid out for you to go get.